So we're going to talk about the outliner and the collections in there, the icons that you see here, selectability and also visibility in here. So right now, by default, Blender comes with collections, and there's a default one, scene collection, that always comes in. You cannot rename it, you cannot delete it. And then you have other collections that organize the rest of the scene. This is a relatively new concept. Older versions of Blender did not have this, and if you were importing older versions of Blender into one of the more recent ones, you have to deal with collections to make it compatible. So when you select a collection, when you add a new object, whatever the active collection is or what's selected, the object will be added to that. So for example, if I choose the root scene collection and do add, let's say, monkey, you'll see the monkey will be a child or under the scene collection. So if I choose Susan the monkey there, it's under there. You could also click it and drag it into another collection, and now it's under the other collection that's a child of the scene collection. To delete it, I can press X in the outliner while it's selected. So if I were to add it directly in the collection, I select the collection, go to add, mesh, monkey, and now it's in there. I can press X to delete it. If you want to add new collections, there's an icon up here where you could press and you could add a new collection, and you could double click on it to rename it. Let's call it collection A or something, or you could click on it and press F2 and you can rename it as well, B, for example. To delete the collection, you can select it, press delete, or Control Z to undo, or you could select and press X and it will also delete it. Another way you could add collections, if you right click in an empty space and choose new collection. And again, you could press F2 and say my collection, for example. And with a new collection, you could select objects in here and drag it into the collection, and it will be in there. Another way you could add objects in a collection is, so let's say I have my collections is active. So if I add, let's say, the monkey in here, it adds it into my collection. If I move it, but if I want to add into the collection, again, I could take it and drag it. I could press Control Z to undo it. In the viewport, I could press M, and then it'll ask me which collection I want to put it in. And I could say into the scene, and it'll put it in the scene one, or while it's still selected, you can select multiple ones. And I could say M, press M hotkey, and say put in my collection. Everything will go under my collection. And also in here, if you want to add a new collection, I can press M. Well, actually select objects and press M, and I could say new collection right away, and I could say my super great collection, for example, and then press OK, and then it would automatically make a new collection for me and put objects that I have selected in there. You could also, again, they showed you could drag objects in either collection, but you could also drag collections in collections. As you see here, we have a scene collection, and a collection, it's a collection called collection under the scene collection, but the one I just created, I dragged it under my collection. So you could have a hierarchy or parent-child relationship of collections in that sense. And you also have the number keys above the keyboard, not the numpad keys, correspond to the collections here. So if I press 1, it will only show collection 1, 2 will be collection 2, 3, it will be collection 3. And what I mean by that is it only shows a visibility of it. And if you want to, and it'll keep going from 1 and so on. If you want to re-show everything or unhide all the collections, hover your mouse over the collection or the outline edit window there and press Alt H. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.